guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to do a video for those of you who are wanting to look more into plant-based diet or veganism, or if you already are and are like kind of confused about some things, because I'm just going to talk about kind of the deeper side of things that you don't really see online, because it's all about the health benefits and all that, but there's also a few like personal challenges as well, like when you're in social situations or like worrying what other people think of you even though you shouldn't. So I'm going to dive a little bit into that today. So I've got 6 points to talk about today. I'm going to talk about how long I've been plant-based for and why I made the decision, what I'm most comfortable with, what I find challenging, where I base my decisions off, and my favorite parts and my tips for you. So yeah, hopefully it's helpful. So I decided to get some fresh air today while I film this, and I've got some little friends. They're honestly so friendly. Hello. They're so inquisitive. So I've been plant-based for upcoming 3 years, and the reason I made the change was for digestive health and bloating, because I used to suffer from a lot of pain when I ate certain foods. So yeah, it's been quite a while now, and I've had a lot of experience and a big learning curve along the way. Oh my god, she wants to say hello. So the next thing on the list is what I'm most comfortable with. So first of all, knowing that I've made the right choice. I've gone on a huge spiritual journey since making the change, because first it was for health reasons, and then I have always loved animals my whole life but never really made the connection, because when you just buy something in a packet at the supermarket, you don't know that it's actually someone's life, and that's like, I started referring to it as someone, not just a pork chop or like a lamb leg. That's someone's leg. That's what I say to myself now. So I've really made the connection, and I feel really in tune with who I'm meant to be, so that's great. I feel like I live my values day in and day out, and cooking up a storm. I've discovered so many new foods and so many new ways of cooking and flavouring food, and I've got quite a few online programs and products like Healthy Vegan Grocery Shopping Guide or like Handbook, and I've got my free 7-day plant-based masterclass series and my 6-week Shape Up Your Plate challenge as well. So yeah, I'm having lots and lots of fun with it. Next on the list is what I find most challenging. So yesterday I was at a barbecue, and someone cooked up like melted camembert in the barbecue in a pan, so it's like all gooey in the middle, and put this like beetroot relish in it, and it looks really nice. I used to eat that kind of stuff, but it's really awkward when everyone starts digging in and that's the only food there is as the starter and you can't eat it. And I didn't really mind, because for years I kept having treats when I'd be dining out. I'll be like, oh, it's just a treat, I'll just have it as this one-off time. My whole stomach would blow up, almost to the point going back to hospital, and I would just end up in so much pain. I could barely make my way home. I could barely walk out of the restaurant. Like, I can't even put it into words. So I don't mind missing out on those things, but I think other people, when they sit around me, they think it's really awkward, or they feel bad in front of me for eating unhealthy, and I've just got to accept that that's just the way things are. This is the life that I've chosen, this is the career that I've chosen, so all of those things doesn't really matter. It's what I think about myself. So yeah, but sometimes other people's opinions do get to you a little bit. The next thing I find a little bit challenging is when people view like really beautiful animals as just like pork chops, or like, yeah, you're gonna cut them up and put them on the barbecue. And I'm living in the not in the outback of Australia, but in this farmland. So something I keep telling myself when people have different views and opinions to me is they've just been brought up differently. They've had different values installed into them by their parents, so they don't necessarily think the same as me, and that's okay because everyone's different. But it is kind of hard when I look at something as this beautiful animal that just makes you laugh so much and brings so much joy and happiness into your life, and someone else just thinks of it as like a bit of meat. I think it's quite saddening sometimes. Another thing I find challenging is people thinking my partner is missing out or under my strict spell, or he's malnourished. When we used to live apart, when we'd spend nights together, he would cook plant-based for me, and he loved my plant-based food, but he ate what he wanted at home, and I was happy enough with that at the start, because that's a lot more effort than a lot of guys would put in. So now that we're living together, I'm so proud at the progress he's made. I don't mind if he eats meat when we're like dining out, when there's friends over and there's a barbecue and stuff, just so that it's not fully like strict, so can have it as a treat. But I thought about it the other day, and I really like don't want it in the house or anything. It just smells and it's like yuck to look at, because I think about what the animal once was. So I'm very, very like proud of him for making such drastic changes and respecting my values. And I know that in a lot of the vegan pages, their husbands and boyfriends won't even taste their cooking, which is so I can't wrap my head around it. So I'm very proud of the progress he's made so far. But I find it awkward when he'll have friends around or something, or he'll go to a friend's house and they may think like that he's got this horrible position to be with me because he can't eat those certain foods that they think are nice, but in reality he's a diabetic as well. So hello, what do you want? So he's probably better off for it, because his blood sugar levels are a lot more even during the day. We're eating very, very healthy, and I'm setting him up for a longer life. And no, neither of us are malnourished. We're doing healthier than ever, so that's important to remember. And the last thing I find challenging is online debates about what's right or wrong or who's the most vegan. I find that very, very detrimental to people's mental health, and it's just not, the vegan movement should be very kind and welcoming and about positive change and peace, I believe. But then people rip into each other about who's doing more, or some people eat eggs from chickens in their backyards, and I do the same. I'm not totally vegan, I'm plant-based, but they'll say, well, that's not vegan because it's still from an animal, and they'll rip into that person even though they have happy hens and stuff. Oh my god. But yeah, I think that's really not a good way to go about it. It should be encouraging people to, ow, ow, ow. So I think that's, yeah, very unhealthy and not really productive, and I think that everyone should just be encouraging to everyone no matter what stage of the journey they're at, and it's mature to discuss different points of view, like, oh, I still do this because of this reason, and then this person says, oh, I don't do it because of this reason. They're like, oh, that's interesting, thanks for sharing your opinion or sharing your knowledge. And it's important to be open-minded and accept other people's different ways of living, and like your way isn't necessarily like the only way or the right way to do things. So I think just like being a little bit more open-minded would make this movement a better place. So number 4, the thing that I wanted to talk about was where I base my decisions from. So it's been a huge long journey. The documentaries that I've watched have been the driving factor behind my choices and my decision to make the change. But the thing that I find most interesting now, when I did my plant-based studies, it focused a lot on the blue zones. So for those of you who don't know, it's the places around the world where people live to 100 years or older and suffer from the least amount of degenerative diseases and chronic illnesses. So they have very, very low rates of cancer and heart disease, diabetes and Alzheimer's. So I really, really like their approach of doing things, because they're not necessarily fully vegan. Some of them are, but some of them have basically 10% or less of their diet is animal products. So sometimes they'll have pork, but it's for someone's birthday or a very special celebration, or some of them will have eggs from obviously their free-range chickens, or they'll have freshly caught fish from the rivers right next to where they live. They live on very rocky terrain, a lot of them, so they're very active even when they're 80 or 90 years old, and they're out in the gardens walking a lot, and they don't have processed food, and they're not sitting around on lots of technology like we are in the modern world. But their diets are very, 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 very interesting, because it's all eating from the earth, and it's all mostly plant-based food. But the thing why I like to follow that, it's not just someone saying, this is the way to do it because of this, and then this is the way to do it because of this. There's lots of opposing studies online, and especially in the bodybuilding world, everyone's just eating meat, eggs. People are eating 6 eggs just in one meal, and just meat 3 times a day. So how do you know who to listen to? But in the blue zones, these have been proven for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's literally, the proof is in the pudding, and it's not just someone suddenly popping up and saying that this is the right way to do things. It's been around for so long, so that's why I trust that, and it's not as strict. They've got a bit of leeway to make things fit their needs, so that's why what I like about it. So also under that point I wanted to cover that I probably follow a 90 to 95% plant-based diet, and it's also been hard because I still eat, I've tried everything. I tried going completely vegan, and then I just really craved salmon. I had this complete outburst at the supermarket and spent like $15 on one salmon fillet, and usually I never buy it unless it's on special, but I just, like, something in me needed the fat or the protein in it, and I don't know what it was, but I kind of went crazy for it. And I never used to really eat eggs. I would buy them sometimes from lifestyle blocks and stuff, and I recently did a video on that, but now that I've got them on my property I do eat them. And I've noticed that it could be down to a lot of factors, but I'm not experiencing the same brain fog that I used to. I used to not be able to concentrate on my work at all and would just be completely fuzzy in my head and couldn't really think or focus. So now that I've been having eggs, I don't experience that, but it could also be because I'm not in the city, so I'm away from a lot less toxins. And the thing with fish has been difficult because I just ask myself, why do I value one life over another? Why do I not eat anything else like cows or lamb or pork, but like, why is fish okay because it's still a living being? And it's kind of like an argument in your own head, but you just have to ask yourself what makes you feel good. And I feel good eating fish, and I think it's due to the fats and the protein once again. So it's probably once or twice a month I have it. And also salmon was my favourite food, so I would still have that as a treat as well. And I also heard this girl once say that she wouldn't eat anything that she couldn't look in the eyes and end its life. And as sad as it sounds, I've been fishing before when I was young, so that's probably the only animal I have killed. So it's not any excuse or anything, but that might be why I'm more okay with it. And your personal health and how you feel comes first. So yeah, it's kind of it's a tricky debate, and I'm only like going into these details for the people who really are interested in this way of life, because you've got to ask yourself these questions: what are you comfortable with and what is in line with your values? So I still put my health above everything, and I still feel really good eating that on occasion. So that's why I just follow a most of the time approach, and I'm really happy with that. So now the fun part is my favorite parts about plant-based eating. So I made a little list. So weight loss, it is so easy to stay in shape. And ages back I saw a comparison to a tiny cube of cheddar cheese versus a whole broccoli that had the same amount of calories or something like that. So you think like a broccoli could be a whole meal, and a cheese is just like part of a salad kind of thing. So you can eat a lot of food, and it's very easy to just stay slim and maintain a healthy weight. You don't come across many plant-based people that are overweight, and especially since being like in lockdown most of the time, and I haven't really been motivated to exercise at home, I've still managed to maintain my physique, which is really amazing. The next thing is food variety. You're going to discover a lot of new foods when you cut out animal products, like lots of new when you cut out animal products, like lots of new grains and different ways of recreating your favorite foods, and nutritional yeast, which is like a healthier version to cheese and has B12 in it. Lots of exciting things like that. How quick it is to cook. You don't need to wait for your chicken to not have pink juices running out of it. You're not going to get salmonella. When you buy mock meat, you literally just have to brown it until it's just nice and golden. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, and veggies take 5 to 10 minutes. It's just so easy. Better digestion and less bloating, which is one of the biggest driving factors for me, because I struggle with that all the time. You feel energized after eating. You don't feel uncomfortably full. You don't feel lethargic and sick and like you've got to lay on the couch for ages like when you have animal products. You feel like you can get up and do a workout, which is great. You don't have food guilt, so it helps you develop a really healthy relationship with food, because you don't feel bad for eating anything. And for desserts and stuff, I just make really nice raw slices or chia pudding or chocolate brownie, but use all natural ingredients, so you never feel bad for eating anything. So it gives you a really good mindset. You don't have to limit portion sizes or count calories. I'm not going to live my life based off numbers, and it's great. I can't even explain what some people must be going through trying to like weigh out their food all the time. You just eat until you're full, and then even if you overeat, you just exercise a bit more that day or the next day. It's just so relaxed and easy. Most people experience great skin and improved acne, obviously because you're eating far less sugar, no processed food, and dairy has a lot of hormones in it, so people also experience like a lot clearer complexion when they go plant-based or vegan. Improved muscle tone and physique. Even with all those years going to the gym, when I started doing weight training and went plant-based at the same time, because I also lost all the excess fat off my body, my muscles even got bigger. Even though everyone's always worried about protein and worried about all of these nutrients, my body was more fueled than ever, and now I'm really muscly, so it's like a win-win. You don't need to worry that you're not going to get the nourishment you need if you're going to the gym. So also spirituality and contributing to something much bigger than yourself is really good for your mental health and happiness. You feel like you're making a difference in the world. Constant learning and evolving. You've always got to ask yourself questions. You're always learning new recipes. You're always questioning other people's ways of doing things and altering your own lifestyle to make it the best possible, the best way to live as possible. And also being unique with recreating certain dishes and replicas. It's just part of my personality that I've always liked things that are a little bit different. I don't like being the same as everyone else. So if I can make things that seem like animal products and it doesn't contain any, like has no cruelty or death involved and animal parts, I think that's so exciting. I made nacho cheese the other day that you dip in your tortilla crisps, and it's made from blended potato and carrot and nutritional yeast and plant milk, and it kind of tastes like pumpkin, and it's just really nice. And same as this company who do roast duck, it's made from vital wheat gluten, which is also known as seitan. I think that's how you say it. And we literally pull it out of the packet, and it's literally got the same kind of like flesh as actual duck, but nothing had to die or live this horrible death for it. So it's really, really exciting, I think. So to finish off, I'm going to give you some tips for you. So always listen to your body. I put that above everything else with your values and morals and everything. Listen to what you need because everyone is different. Give things a good chance. Some people try one diet for a week or two and don't see any changes, so then they go to the next diet, then the next diet. It's not a diet, it's a long-term lifestyle change. So give it a good go and just like see how it feels over time, and you can adjust things to suit your needs as, during your journey. Be open to new ideas. It's important to have an open mind. Consistency is key. I love the saying, it's not what you do sometimes, it's what you do every day. I think that's very important. And also make it fit your needs. I've had a lot of conversations about this with different people, with different walks of life. I had a friend who tried going vegan for 3 months, and she got depressed and just like she was feeling completely not herself, and then her boyfriend gave her some salmon and eggs for dinner one night and she felt better instantly within hours. So some people don't handle it as well as others, so I'm not saying that no one should be completely vegan. Some people go 100% and they live their whole lives like that. They go their pregnancies like that and have healthy vegan babies. That's totally cool. And some people just also want a most of the time approach, and that's also totally cool. So I'm not judging either party. It's just like finding it, finding your own personal balance. And this can come down to how much food you actually eat, because you need to eat a lot more veggies to fill your nutrient needs. Your blood type. I've heard a lady with O blood type, she started losing her hair when she went fully vegan, so she just eats plant-based most of the time, and now she's perfectly healthy. Your mental health and your energy levels, and also your nutrient absorption. I once had a gut issue that was not letting me absorb all the nutrients from my food despite being the healthiest person that I knew, and I had a few deficiencies, so once I fixed the gut issue then I was totally fine. So it's important just to always tune in and ask yourself how you're feeling each day, and like, could anything be improved, or do you need to work on anything, or are you totally cool with how you're going at the moment? Just always check in with yourself. So a few things that I've created to help people like you if you are interested in changing your life for the better. I've made a free 7-day plant-based masterclass series, so I cover lots of things about veganism and plant-based eating that you may not know about, things that happen in the animal agriculture industry behind the scenes that you don't know about, and just different tips and tricks. So it's only 7 days and it's completely free, so you've got nothing to lose except for getting more education, which is great. I've done a 6-week Shape Up Your Plate challenge, which is more for healthy eating in general. So I've got 60 whole foods recipes, so it's not all vegan or plant-based. It lets people choose. So if you're right at the start of your journey, you can switch the recipes around. It'll say like add a lean patty or add a veggie patty, or different examples like that, add chicken or add chicken-free chicken. So you can go at your own pace, and it's not just all or nothing, stop one day and be perfect the next. So that teaches you how to read labels and stuff like that at the supermarket. I've also done a handbook to healthy vegan grocery shopping, and teaching you what oils you need to choose for your cooking and things like that. So I'll link that below, and I hope you can check it out and learn some more. So yeah, this is a little bit of a long video, but it's more about the things that people might want to know that aren't openly talked about, and different things that I struggle with myself, like how you feel in different situations, and how you feel about yourself, or worrying what other people think of you, and are you doing the right thing, or like how far vegan should you go? It's always questions that you ask yourself, or how to accept people that are different to you and don't share your same values. So I think it's just important to touch on those deeper topics for those people who are really, really interested in changing. So yeah, so I hope you liked this little video, and hit like and subscribe so you can be updated for future content. And my little friend's back again. Hello, are you going to let me pet you? Thank you for watching.